What's up, fellas? It's your boy Deadly Crypto in the house. I'm here to bring you some updates about the market. We're going to talk about BTC. What is happening? Is the bull market over, or are we going to see another leg up? We're also going to be talking about some Ethereum price action today because Ethereum is the second biggest dog in the game, whether you like it or not. I don't care what kind of meme coins you've been trading because they're probably poo-poo. We're going to take a look at the general real market and see what we can expect in the days to come. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get my screen share up. Also, this is kind of another test stream because Gray booted me off the last one. Thanks, Gray, for stealing the show. All good. I know he needed the restream that day. So kind of another test stream just to make sure I can get everything all worked out and that I am able to stream to you guys, and then we'll make it more consistent and we'll give you some updates as to when the stream will be as well. So actually, let me make sure I got the chat up here so I can see if there's any comments. I don't know how to do that yet. Okay, looks like there's our chat. So I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't know if I'll be able to read your comments just because I'm not that familiar with the restream. Usually I use OBS, but we're going with a new streaming software, which is kind of why my microphone is like invisible some of the times. Still working on it, but whatever. We're here and we're going to give you some updates. Okay. So looking at the daily time frame for BTC, what we're going to be taking note of is our trading range. If you don't know what a trading range is, you should probably come to our classes or book an alpha membership or sign up for a one-on-one mentorship. But this trading range we got right here is indicated by a support range at the bottom. And in the support range, we're able to see where people have shown interest in purchasing BTC. So every time BTC has come into this range, as far back as November of 2024, since our boy Trump took office, we are seeing buyers show interest in this 90K region. We saw a little bit of a dip down towards 89,000, so just sub 90K, lots of buyer interest. And basically, anytime BTC has entered this range right here, buyers were able to sustain that price and push it back up. So BTC came to the high end of that range here, also meeting the 100 EMA. We can see right here. Oops. As we can see right here, price touched on the 100 EMA. And now it's looking to move up. So there was another dynamic support range here, as we saw people able to sustain that price interest even though it was on a negative slope. And then here we had another negative slope by these two highs. So here we had seller interest, here we had seller interest, and here our seller interest was broken. But then again, price pushed up and ran into more seller interest around this range, where the previous all-time high was, creating just a new high at the level of the swing high, 110K. Which might be a little bit different across exchanges, but you got to be pretty close no matter what exchange you're looking at. And then we're seeing more dynamic seller interest. So after sellers took the lead here, they initiated another move here and since trapped price in this range here. So what we were seeing was a breakout and then a push back down, giving us another structure. So here is our last form of dynamic resistance. And now we can see price is starting to poke above. So if price is able to maintain its position above this trend line, either by way of shooting straight up or by way of retest, then we're going to look to take BTC back up to these levels. But if BTC cannot sustain here and instead fails to break out by way of re-entering this structure, then we're going to look to use that 100 EMA again, and it may see this as resistance one more time before coming back down to that swing low or meeting up with the 200 EMA in the future. So these are the things that we're going to be looking out for in the immediate price action of BTC over the next week. I'll be giving you guys Friday updates once a week, and we'll talk about the review, and I'll also be sharing with you guys what I think might be occurring. So if this is the bullish scenario, then we're going to be looking to come back up to this swing high and potentially break it. Once price gets up to this swing high is where we are going to be really testing the market's interest. How many people are going to be interested in buying BTC at all-time high prices? That's the big question. If price maintains buyer interest, or BTC maintains buyer interest at this level, then it's likely that we could see a push up to the top of this formation where we saw previous seller interest coming from another value back here. It could also range higher than that, up towards the 100 and let's see, yeah, up towards the 120K region, maybe a quick burst through. So how we saw this burst through right here, quick wick up, and then it came back down into the range. So maybe it's something else like that. Quick wick up. We see whoopty whoopty whoopsie, break, retest, up here, quick wick up, and then flashing back in. So maybe upwards of 120, 124K is possible. But again, we have to defeat this high first. Otherwise, one more time in the negative direction is where we're going to be looking to test. And that breakout fails, then coming back over here to that 200 EMA. So that's what we got for BTC. I don't know, again, if you guys are able to leave a comment or see the comments, if I'm going to be able to see them. I'm still learning Restream, guys. But I am going to drop this into the comments section, a link of this. That way you guys can save it for your own chart, your own references later. So there we go. We got our TradingView screenshot up there. And if you are watching, please let me know. Drop a comment somewhere. That way I can try and figure out where to read them from. It'd be much appreciated. A simple hi will be sufficient. All right. We're going to be moving into Ethereum price action now. So looking at Ethereum over here, what we can see is a pretty similar situation, but Ethereum is different in that it's trading under the EMAs. So we're looking at BTC here and we're finding support above the 100 EMA, looking to carry price upward. So right now price is being supported. And over here in Ethereum, price is underneath the EMAs. So it's going to run into the EMA here first as resistance. Grab my tool. So first here is where we would see our level of resistance based on this dynamic trend line coming from these two high points. And then we saw a third point right here attempt a breakout, but get rejected and re-enter the range. Then we saw a break towards the bottom, a quick wick, and then price got accepted and supported by buyers and then re-entered the range. So now we're still back within this falling wedge. Normally what we would like to see from a falling wedge break is going to be an upside reach out, and it either retests then continues pushing forward to some of these other levels here, or maybe it's going to do a straight shot up to the next resistance zone, which is going to be around that level. So we're looking for those two possible bull scenarios to occur, but let's not discount that price is still in a downtrend here and could look to trade further back down towards the swing high, or excuse me, swing low once again. So on our bullish aspect, we're going to be looking to take price up back to the swing high. And in the bearish aspect, this structure will fail and come back down towards the swing low. So this is a pretty decent structure to be trading on. And it looks like from the ADX that the downtrend that was active here is losing its strength. So we're looking at that consolidation now. The MACD does look like it's been bullish for a while, but there's no signs of bullish divergence. Not a great thing, but there's also no signs of bearish divergence. So that's a good thing. If price manages to come up here and create a lower high, while the RSI comes up and creates a higher high than its peer, so that would be an ascending line and this would be a descending line, then we're going to be looking at some hidden bearish divergence. Of course, that development hasn't happened yet. I'm just telling you what to look out for, because a bearish divergence would signal a continuation of the downtrend. So backing up from there, we're just going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you can see the all-time high range for Ethereum came back from here, and where these other zones come from and how meaningful or important they are. So this is just from a previous high over here. We see it cut through plenty of times. However, I didn't want to leave the range very open because that'd be a large distance to travel without any possible support or resistance. Back here, we had a support, a low from a buyer's interest. It was broken here. It was broken here and traded below. Then it came up and was used as resistance here. And then it came over here and used as resistance, then flip its roll to support. Here, it was used as support again. So this is a pretty solid support line. And if price gets back to that area, we could look for buyers to show their support, their interest for Ethereum. And if Ethereum is able to find that buyer interest again, we're going to be looking to take it up back to the all-time high. From current price action to the all-time high, we're looking at about 66%, even back up to the swing high, which we've seen multiple times in the past be achieved, looking at 41%. So that's a pretty solid play for Ethereum, even without leverage. But if you were to apply leverage on this, 10x will bring you a 400% return. Whatever you put in, you'll 4x your hand. 25x, you're getting a little crazy. As long as you have a proper stop loss, you know why you're entering, what your trigger candle would be, then 25x is going to give you a really, really, really solid payday. Anything higher than that, I'm not going to tell you should or shouldn't do. If you got the grit, if you got the bronze, then go for it. Ethereum's a contestant to provide a lot of profits. It's not like BTC is not a great asset, but right now with the current history that we've seen, we're really only looking at about 10% back to the swing high. So if you want to 10x that, you're looking at a 100% return, 2x your hand, whatever you put in, you get back 2x. If BTC is lucky enough to get back to the swing high, which is its previous all-time high for the cycle now. These are the things that we're going to be looking for to take action upon whenever we are trading the market. So I'll drop a screenshot here of Ethereum for you so that way you can see how it's range bound here from our seller interest. People have shown interest in selling Ethereum at this level. And then our last area of buyer interest, where people were interested in paying for Ethereum at a cheaper price. We'll get that screenshot in. And guys, I would really need someone to share with me a comment or question so that I can figure out how this works. So if you're out there right now, it looks like someone is out there. So please drop a comment, let me know what's up. Or if you want me to analyze an asset for you, you got to drop it in. All right, so the last asset we're going to be looking at today is going to be unless I get a comment here and you guys want to help me out, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. I would like to see some comments just to make sure I'm using this right. Restream, crypto, I don't really know. Yep, not sure how to read the comments. So come on, guys, help me out. All right, so looking at Solana now, I'm going to be backing us up to the larger price action. Man, first of all, let me say, if you were a warrior and you had that dog in you, and you were purchasing Solana down here for the range of $7-ish, congratulations to you for your grit. We made it. Solana's way up to the moon now. It could raise higher, but it's also showing signs of blowing off steam. So we're going to talk a little bit about the immediate price action over here in a moment. But first, I wanted to note out where these other important levels came from. Here we have that all-time high, previous all-time high. Price has broken that slightly and now began to trade underneath. And our low for the range, the lowest we've seen down here for the range, is going to be the value of $7.83. And then another important high was right here, where price broke through, used resistance, and then price used resistance, broke through a support. So this is an interesting level if price doesn't hold here. Now we're going to be zooming into a little bit more of the recent price action for Solana. So looking at this range here, we have a resistance point. Price came up. Sellers showed interest, giving us that resistance to keep price moving forward. Then it came up again. Sellers showed interest, but then buyers were able to dominate as price touched that 50 EMA. Buyers were all over that. And then it was able to get above, and we saw that first break below. So this is the first time it was used as support. If you know anything about support and resistance, once a resistance zone is broken, it could potentially flip to become a support zone. If you didn't know that and you'd like to learn more, of course, you can always join our alpha group or book me for a one-on-one consultation or membership, and I'll make sure that you're able to read this like the back of your hand. But in any case, moving forward, we see that price came up, riding the EMAs, had a little bit of blow off. Price came back under the EMAs, began to use them as resistance. And then we see that support zone there, support zones there. Buyers showing interest, thus supporting the price. This is where we get the terminology from. Then we have buyer interest here again, buyer interest here again, buyer interest here again, buyer interest here again, and then finally one more time. So there's a really solid zone at the level of 120 where buyers have previously expressed interest. Then from these highs, we had developed seller interest here. So there's our top wick for that seller interest. And then coming over here, we see more seller interest until finally the buyers were able to dominate that seller front line, bringing us up towards our previous all-time high. And once Solana got to its previous all-time high, everybody that was holding from $7, $8 was looking to take some profits. So like, hey, we're back at the all-time high. We're going to go ahead and sell some of this stuff. So that pushed price down. So that pushed price down back towards this level here, where it showed a little bit of support based on a previous high. So we had interest here for selling, a little bit of buyer interest, but then it was penetrated. And we see this high right here, zooming in a little bit more now as we get to the most recent price action. This high right here was used as resistance, price broke through. And then, of course, what happens to a resistance zone? It could flip and become support. So we saw support here based on that flip, and it also met up with the 200 EMA. So that's always good whenever we can see price trading along an EMA, finding reliable support. Then we had a quick bounce up, but it was not sustained as sellers showed interest, bringing the price back down here, touching the 200 EMA and that support zone again. And if you pay attention, from these points right here, we had that projection, we had that breakout. So price also used that previous breakout. If I delete all the horizontal support and resistance there. Yep, we'll just turn that off. So that breakout right there, breakout here, touch, touch. So there was a lot of support in that area for Solana. And then price pushed up here, back over the previous all-time high, giving us a new range, but also showing us divergence. So we had this divergence here, and we can tell that this is divergence because price made a higher high while the RSI showed a lower high. So this is indicative that price was going to be pushing down after that divergence developed. And lo and behold, that's what we were able to see, price push down. So sellers expressed a strong interest here and dominated the buyers from that previous all-time high. The reason price is still staying in this level is because, one, we have buyer support, but two, because there's hope. There's a lot of hope in this market right now. Hope is what is sustaining this market. I've heard a lot of people that I normally don't hear talking about crypto. So we're kind of seeing a little bit of signals that this may be the end of the market, of the bull run. And it's going to be very critical, one, what BTC does. BTC must defeat this range in order to continue looking up for higher prices for the next leg of the bull cycle. So if BTC fails this and breaks down from here, I'm going to be looking to take some profits, jump some ship, and prepare for a brutal bear market, because there's always a brutal bear market after the highs of a bull cycle. But coming back into Solana, of course, we need BTC to break that high. But then for Solana, we need first this dynamic trend line to be broken. Then we need price to get above these EMAs right here. Then we need price to defeat the previous all-time high and previous swing high right here at this level in order to consider upward price action viable. So from 178 upwards to about $318 would be possible if Solana is able to defeat that high. And that'd be looking at about 76% gain without leverage. And if you apply leverage, you're going to be having a really great day. 10x leverage will definitely get you by there. But if price is not able, buyers don't show your support. If you don't show your support for Solana, then price is going to decrease potentially back to this level here. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. If this level right here is broken, once again, I'm going to be taking some profits. I'm going to be jumping ship, and I'm going to be preparing for that brutal bear market. So in a positive scenario, we would be looking for Solana to break this trend line, break these EMAs, retest above, and continue to shoot up towards that previous all-time high, breaking that and defeating this previous high over here to the left. So all of that needs to happen in order to consider this bull market still valid. If that does not happen, and if price continues to trade in a downtrend fashion, breaking this interest level here, right? So we see price come down into this range, boom. Buyers don't show support and we lose that range. I'm out. I hope you will be smart, take some profits and enter a short as well. Don't be left holding the bag for the next 2 years. The bear market will certainly last at least 300 days as it has in every single cycle before, but we don't know when that is occurring. And unfortunately, we won't know until we know. So if you're looking for someone to say, give you the answers in a magic crystal ball, you're never going to find that person. And anyone who tries to sell you that magic crystal ball is full of crap because they cannot predict the future. So with these three assets, I've given you an outlook of how price needs to develop to continue in a bullish scenario, what will happen if price develops in a bearish scenario, and what actions I'll be taking if this occurs. So I hope you're able to use all this for your own insights and to conduct your own analysis and make your own decisions. Do not wait for someone to tell you to buy X token. Do not wait for someone to tell you to sell X token. And I'm not talking like X is the name of the token. I just mean any token. If someone is shilling you a token, you should not buy it just because they are. You should only buy it or trade it if you have a reason to believe it will go up based on your analysis. And if you need help conducting your analysis, once again, we offer help in our Discord membership with the Alpha Group. And you can also book me for a one-on-one consultation, and I'll be able to read this to you like a bedtime story. So thanks for coming out to the stream, guys. I'm going to drop this. I did drop this Solana link in the chat. I can't believe anyone left me no comments. I don't know how the comment system works here. Maybe you did leave me some comments and I didn't know how to read it. So sorry if I didn't see your comment. But if you didn't leave me any comments, then shame on you. I'm trying to learn how to use the restream over here. But that's going to be wrapping it up for our session today, guys. Thank you for coming out and watching my presentation on BTC, Ethereum, and Solana. We'll see you guys in the next one.